Going live, going live, going live, and you are looking live at sold out Shea Stadium. Remember the Giants played their home games at Shea Stadium in 1975. So you are looking live at sold out Shea Stadium, where today the 16-0 and playoff-bound New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 Washington Commanders. And why are the Washington Commanders 0-16? Because they suck. Welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there at all going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening? I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. If anybody's going to spend any time at all watching any of the replay this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight, as I usually do. Try to shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free. Fire away, throw it in the chat box, right? I usually try to check on the chat box every 5 or 10 minutes. So anybody got any questions or anything to say, please feel free, fire away. As soon as I see it, I try to respond to it as fast as I can. All right. So, plus sometimes it's, instead of me just rambling on for like half an hour, and anybody got anything to say, it's nice to talk to somebody sometimes. So please feel free, fire away. Before I get started, anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below, okay, the top link in the description box takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first membership level is called the Saquon. Second membership level is called the Lawrence Taylor, and the third membership level is called the Gridiron. Each one has their own little perks to them. All right, so if anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. So thank you in advance. If you are subscribed to my channel, thank you. Thank you. If you're not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. That way, next time I go live or put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? And if you, as I said, once again, if you're subscribed to my channel, thank you for the support. It really means all the help I can get with my channel. I greatly appreciate it. And finally, in the description box below, there's 2 additional links. Okay, they take you to, there's a Facebook. One's a Facebook group, one's a Facebook page. The top Facebook link in the description box takes you to my Facebook group. Okay, it's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. Basically, pretty much everything I got is called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. That way, a moron like me, I can't forget it. All right, my group, my YouTube channel, my Facebook page is all called pretty much like the New York Giants, the Gridiron, right? But with the, the group, we have over 2,700 members in the group, okay? It's growing slowly, but, not only do I put stuff in there every day, 7 days a week, I'm always putting stuff in there. But if you're a member of the group, not only do I put stuff in there, but the members put stuff in there as well too. So there's a ton of New York Giants information going in there every day. Somebody just posted a picture of Rosie Greer. He played for the Giants back in the 50s, and they traded him after the 1962 season. They traded him away to the Rams. He became part of the fearsome foursome for the Rams. Lamar Lundy, Roosevelt Greer, Merlin Olsen, and Deacon Jones. He played with the Rams from 63 to 66 in the preseason game in 67. I think he tore his Achilles heel. But he was a major part of the Giants, their defense back in the late 50s and early 60s. Let's see. There's a post in here. Put something in here. Apparently, Evan Neal, okay, is working with Willie Anderson. All right, and he's working on possibly changing Evan Neal's stance. Okay, so look for some hopefully some possible upgrades from Evan Neal this offcoming season. And there was another picture I put in here. It was showing a guy played for the Giants for 2 seasons, Ken Avery. He was a linebacker. There's a picture of him in Wrigley Field in 1967 and trying to tackle Gale Sayers. Yeah, good luck there. So it's all kinds of stuff going in the group every day. I try to put at least 10 different things in there every day, whether it's a video, a picture, a post, something making fun of the Eagles or the Cowboys. And not only that, but the members post up in here as well, too. The second Facebook link, okay, takes you to my page. It's a Facebook page. Okay. So I'm the administrator in there. Okay. So I'm the only one who can post in there, but it's the same thing as in the group. I try to put like 10 different things in there at least every day, 7 days a week. Right now we have 860 people who like it. There's over 3,600 people following it. Right. So if you go to the page and you like it and you follow and you go to the group and you become a member, between the two, you get a ton of New York Giants information every day. And I don't commingle them. So basically whatever I put in the page, I don't put in the group, and vice versa. The pictures, posts, and everything that I put in the group that don't go in the page. So if you go between the two of them, there's a ton of New York Giants information every day. And like I say, all the time. If you're not satisfied, you get your money back, guaranteed. All right, with all that stuff said and all done and everything, well, what do we do? Did the Giants stay? Did they stay put? Did they, what did they do? Well, it's a good question. Good question. If we look around, all right now they have, let's see here. I believe they have 73 guys right now, okay, under contract, right? That's a lot of guys. That's a lot of guys. Plus, if we're now also we're looking at too the fact that you had the 5 guys last year, okay, who wind up on injury reserve. Basically, half our draft class last year wound up on injury reserve. So we're gonna like Azudu, McKeithen, Wando Robinson, Darian Beavers, DJ Davidson, half our draft class almost, right, wind up on injury reserve. So we got a lot of guys coming back. Okay, we have, as I said, right now. Wrong one. Got so many tabs open there. 73 active players we have. Okay, so with that now, we had 11 draft picks. Now we're down to 10. Okay, so if you include, okay, and the draft class, say we add another 10 guys, that's 83 guys. You got to have a 90-man roster, okay, to basically open the training camp and all that with, and you whittle your way on down. You get the practice squad guys and all that stuff and everything. And they keep bringing other guys in. You keep saying, obviously we brought, McCain in, right? Sweeney in, right? Crowder, right? We're bringing these guys in and we're signing them. There's only so much room left on the team. And obviously you keep seeing that they keep bringing other guys in. All right. And that, and now you're going to add another 10 draft picks in there. And the thing is with the draft picks, as time's going by, right, even the 7th rounders are like freaking gold, okay? They put a high value on these draft picks. Obviously, the 7th, 6th rounders, 5th, 6th, 7th, usually a lot of them, percentage-wise, don't really want it making it, okay? Some of them have a little bit of an impact, like Tay Crowder, Mr. Irrelevant, all right? Led the team in tackles, had an okay season last year, right? Before he started tweeting his mouth off and everything, getting himself in trouble. Social media could be something really, really nice, but it could also be your worst enemy. And sometimes in the world of sports, it can be your worst enemy, especially if you're a Mr. Irrelevant, right? But sometimes 7th rounders, perform, do well. But for the most part, they don't get a lot of action, don't get a lot of playing time. Okay. But, they treat them like they're gold. Now they're going to take 10 draft picks. Okay. And there's a good chance, real good chance that all 10 of these guys are going to make the team. Okay. Now what, it's going to start getting tougher and tougher once they start building the team, and hopefully having a better foundation of players. It's going to be tougher and tougher, for them to get all the draft picks to actually make the final 53. All right. Now, last year, I could certainly see where, like, with Shane, maybe we traded back or so. He did that with the, let's see, what I got here. Yeah, there we go. With the, remember with the Jets, they traded back and, they traded back a couple of times. They traded back from 36 to 38 back to, where the hell are they? Back to 43. They kept trading and picking up picks. Well, why? Well, because Shane came in to the SHIT show, okay? No draft capital, right? The team, horrible record, right? He wanted to start bringing in his own players, okay? And I think they did a very, very good job of that. All right, hopefully this year they should do an even better job of that, because last year, basically when he walked in, he's like, he kind of walked in and said, "Hey, what's going on, guys? Oh, hey, you're my scout. Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. You too? Hey, Joe Shane, GM. Nice to, cool. All right, what's your name? All right, what I mean? He's just meeting his guys, right? I mean, a lot of these guys were maybe out scouting around and they had their own way of doing it and all. And, there's a new sheriff in town. His name's Joe Shane. Going to start doing stuff his way. Okay. So however they were, scouting and stuff, I'm not saying it was all wrong, but I'm sure he did little tweaks here and there to it. And I said, I mean, he came in, who are my scouts, right? Well, now this year is his second season. Have a lot more stuff under control, right? They should do at least as good of a job this year as they did last year, without question. All right. But last year, him trading back, trying to grab as many pieces to the pie as possible. Oh, excuse me. Hold on, buddy. Hold on. I gotta move the chair. My dog every time. God bless him. Every time I go live, he's got to get in, so I got to start petting him. But last year, as I said, I could certainly see where he wanted to start maybe getting some extra pieces of pie. As Jerry Jones says, have a bigger piece of pie. So you start bringing in more guys, and hopefully you start filling out your roster, because, there were a lot of holes, still have a lot of holes, but hopefully we're a little bit better of a position this year than we were last year, okay? So there might be a possibility this year where I can certainly see, somewhere along the line, it would be nice for them to maybe couple of picks. Do we really need? I mean, we had 11. We traded one, traded a third rounder away, and we got Darren Waller. Now, hopefully the guy can stay healthy. Hopefully, right? But, so we traded away one draft pick and we got ourselves a starter, okay? We got ourselves, right, as of right now, we got the number one wide receiver / tight end / weapon, whatever you want to call him. His name is Darren Waller. Whether you like it or not, that's our number one weapon right now. We got Saquon in the backfield. As far as wide receivers / tight end, whatever, that's our Jason Kelce right there. Okay, his name is Darren Waller. Okay, until further notice, I'd be really doubtful if we're going to find one in the draft. Okay, unless we pull something out of our rear ends here and we made some kind of crazy rear end trade for Hopkins, right? I mean, because hearing that they want like a second rounder for him, but I'm sure that's a little too rich. I'm sure, I don't know if we're going to wind up we traded a second rounder away for him, but I'm not exactly sure if if any of these the top of the wide receivers are actually going to wind up reaching the Giants. Okay, but I mean, like what the Jets did last year. Okay. I like what they did. And I just got this one example right here, which, I like what they did. They traded up and they grabbed themselves Breece Hall, quite possibly the best running back in the draft. They went up, they coupled some picks together. They jumped up, got themselves a running back. They got themselves a starter. Okay. Pretty much just take the dude. There you go. All right, Breece, you're the man, right? So somewhere along the line, once we start filling in the pieces here, right, and we start getting a little better of a foundation, we got two edge rushers, right? We got our quarterback, we got our running back, we got a couple tight ends, got our tackles, right? We got I don't know how long we're going to have Leo Leonard Williams and Dexter Lawrence, but we got at least one guy, interior defensive lineman. We got a Karake, right? In our linebacker, right? We got McKinney, so we're starting to fill in. We still got some holes. We have some decent wide receivers still. Maybe could get certainly without question another one, maybe a one. Because you imagine if we had Waller, like a Hopkins and Saquon Barkley, whoo, right? So we still certainly still have some holes to fill without question. Okay, but I'm just saying, like with Breece. And this had to do with the Giants because, let me see here. Pop this up here. Here we go. Okay, the Giants traded their second round selection, number 36 overall, to the Jets in exchange for a second and a fifth. So basically, they took the Jets 38th and their 146th pick, right? So the Giants traded back 2 slots, okay, and they got themselves an extra fifth rounder. That's what Shane was trying to do, get more throws at the dartboard, right? More pieces of the pie, right? Okay, but the Jets took some pieces and they jumped up, all right, and they got themselves a starter. They got themselves a stud, all right. Somewhere along the line, hopefully Shane starts doing this. Then what the Giants wind up doing, okay? The Giants traded their second round pick, number 38, which they just got from the Jets, to Atlanta in exchange for a second and a fourth round selection. So then they jumped back to number 43, where they took Wan'Dale Robinson. Okay, so basically the second round pick was Wan'Dale Robinson, but they also picked up a fourth round and a fifth round. Okay, the thing was that kind of scratching my head a little bit. Was like, the Jets traded up to get like a starter, a stud. You know what I'm saying? The Giants traded back and they picked up the fourth round and the fifth rounder. Okay. But they, it was like, for Wan'Dale Robinson, I was just kind of like, you can certainly see the positive, the goodness with Wan'Dale. We got a fourth rounder and a fifth rounder, But I was just like, with all the picks that we wound up having, I was just kind of hoping it was somewhere along Shane could have maybe couple them up and jumped up, because you got 22 starters, right? I mean, you need your salary cap. I'm not sorry, you need your special teams, punter, and all that. But you're starting, you're 22, 12, 11 on defense, 11 on offense, right? If you got, like, say, 11 or 12 rock solid guys you're going to roll with, now you're down and you need 10 or 11 more, pieces. Got a couple of those guys, draft picks together, jump up, grab a starter. Do the same thing with a couple more, grab a starter, right? But he didn't wind up doing that last year. But as I said, we got 73 guys. So, I mean, you can make the case, 73 active roster. I said, plus then we got another 10 draft picks. So it's 83 guys. We got more guys coming in. I mean, we only got so much room on the roster. Now, I don't even know if you can, if he keeps bringing more guys in, it's almost kind of like it's 10 guys from this draft class even going to make the roster, right? Because he's bringing in a bunch of veterans and all. I mean, the problem is it's not like we have 3 first-round picks. We got 3 seventh-round picks. The good part is that's more throws at the dartboard. Okay, you get more picks. The problem is a couple problems. Is a lot of times the seventh rounders just don't make it, and their trade value is almost basically nothing. Okay, so so out of the 10 we got left, 3 of them are in the 7th round, which it makes it very difficult to do much of anything with that, with them. But now there was a draft. Jimmy Johnson, okay, he came up with originally, okay, as far as I know, originally, there's a like a chart that he had. He puts a grading system, okay, with each player, with each pick, okay. He's basically the original one that, as far as I know, the first pick overall in the draft has a grade of 3,000. Okay, pick number 2 is 2,600. Pick number 3 is 2,200. Pick number 4 is 1,800, and so on. All the picks basically in the 7th round, the first couple picks in the 7th round are worth like 2 points. The Eagles, the second pick in the 7th round, their pick value is worth 2. But pretty much the Giants, all the picks the Giants have in the 7th round, where are they at? Let's see. There we go. Okay. 254 is worth a point. 243 is worth a point. 240 is worth a point. I mean, they got, and they're all like late 7th round picks. I mean, nothing is early in the 7th round. So they're, it's even hard to even couple those picks up and move up. Okay. You can't go to somebody, team, we'll give you our first rounder. We'll give you our 3 7th rounders and we'll jump up 8 spots. That's not happening. That's not happening. Let's not forget, I mean, Carolina, okay, they went from number 9 to number 1, but they had to give up 2 2s, 2 1s, and more, their wide receiver. They had to give up 5 starters for one. Tell you what, they better hit on this pick, because if they they miss on this pick, they pick the wrong quarterback, they're going to be set back for years. Okay, so because they're giving up 5 starters, and if they don't get a starter out of the quarterback, they're in trouble. They're in a lot of trouble. Well, I'll tell you. But where the Giants are picking at, okay. Now let's start going through, like, who would the Giants trade up for in the first round? Okay, maybe a wide receiver, maybe a cornerback. I don't know, if there's really anybody else that they don't need. Obviously, they would always use an edge rusher, but you're not going to trade up and trade away draft picks to get one extra edge rusher and trade away a bunch of picks. I don't see that happening. You don't need you're not going to trade up for a tight end because we just got Waller. You don't need a quarterback, don't need a running back, don't need tackles. We're not trading up. There's no center or guard they're going to trade up for, in not from 25. Absolutely not. Defense, I said edge rushers, inside linebackers, absolutely not. I said, I don't know if the positional value for safety, there is, whoops, I'm on the wrong page here. There's a lot of guys, especially wide receivers and cornerbacks, without question. Okay. Let's see. Who depends upon what the positional value is, what Shane has. Okay. There we go. Branch, okay, from Alabama, right? Possibly the best safety in, PFF has him graded as the 14th ranked player in the draft. Okay. Is that something that Shane would want to jump up for and grab a safety? I don't know. The thing is that I could see, the Giants needing maybe a wide receiver or a cornerback. Now, for them to jump up, okay, in the draft, there's there's going to be like top 2 or 3 or 4 cornerbacks, okay, that might all be gone before the Giants pick. Now, if the Giants fall in love with one of these cornerbacks, okay, they can jump up like maybe 5 spots or somewhere around. Their pick number 25, according to this chart, is worth 720 points. Okay. If they coupled up their second round pick, which is worth 330 points, that would give them a total of 1,050 points between the two. They could, according to this chart, they could jump up to spot 15 with Green Bay. This chart is close, okay? It's give or take, might be a spot or two. You might have to give another small pick here or there or something. But for the most part, if the Giants gave up their first round pick and second round pick to jump up to number 15 with the Packers, they could possibly do that, okay? But now the Giants are giving away 2 starters to get 1. I could see the Giants doing that if they were only like 1 or 2 guys away from the Super Bowl. If they needed that wide receiver or that one cornerback or something, which could get him over the edge and into the Super Bowl or something, I can see him doing that. Giants, I think, have too many holes to fill to do something like that. I can see the Giants maybe trading their first round pick if they're going to move up. And my God, what the hell? They could trade it like a 5th round pick. If they traded their 5th round pick and their first round pick, according to this chart, they can move up like maybe 2 or 3 spots. So they could jump up. You know what I'm saying? If when Baltimore is picking, just say at number 22, if they think Minnesota might take a cornerback and the Giants are in love with a cornerback, okay, they could trade away maybe their first round pick, their 5th round pick, and maybe a 6th round pick or something like that and move up like 3 spots. Okay, and snatch somebody away from maybe Minnesota. Or if they think Minnesota, because they just got rid of Thielen, right? If they want to couple somebody up with Jefferson, say the Giants are in love with Zay Flowers, right? And Zay Flowers is still on the board, and the Ravens are picking at 22. Okay, Shane picks up, talks to the Ravens. Would you mind? If we can move up 3 spots, go from 25 to 22, right? We'll give you our first round pick, our 5th and a 6th. Would that do it? And you move back 3 spots and you pick up our first and a fifth and a sixth. Would that do it for you? Yeah, you just talk, obviously. But I can see the Giants doing something like that. Like if they fell in love with a cornerback that maybe slid down a little bit, or for some reason, if like Njigba was still there, maybe if they fell in love with Addison, I don't. Maybe a lot of these other wide receivers are going to be like, they're going to start flying off the board. Like I said, like in Johnston and in Njigba, some of these guys are going to just start flying off the board. The one nice thing is that there's going to be a decent amount of quarterbacks, which is going to help push some of those other guys down. Okay. But I mean, in the first round, I can't see the Giants, if they were going to jump up, can't see them jumping up much more than like a couple spots, because I don't really see them wanting to trade away a first round pick and a third round pick for one guy. Because they know if they got that first round, a second, and a third, that's probably 3 contributors, okay, to try to trade away 2 of them to get one guy. As I said, I don't know if they would wind up doing that. I could see him, as I said, I could see him if they wanted to jump up a couple spots. I could see that because, and trade away a 5th or a 6th round pick. Say, because those 7th round picks are worth like nothing, pretty much nothing. As I said, I can see him trading up for a couple spots, maybe a 5th and a 6th, but that's pretty much about it. I could also, once again, there's the good and the bad, comes with everything. I could certainly see him staying put, right? And having the board come to them, having the board fall to them at number 25. I could also see him without question, maybe jumping, trading back down in the draft, trading back, picking up an extra pick or 2 or something. Of course, it always takes 2 to tango, and I don't know, is anybody that interested in jumping up to number 25, to pick somebody. Yeah. But I mean, I could certainly see the Giants without question maybe trading back and getting up some extra picks. But the problem is, as I was saying, is that we got 73 guys signed right now. Out of these 10 guys, and we keep bringing guys in. I mean, you notice we keep signing guys, keep bringing more guys in. I seen there was another guy, a guy from Minnesota. I forgot what his name was. We bringing him in. We're still bringing guys in, and we got 73. So are these 10 guys going to make the team? I have a hard time believing all 10 of these draft picks are. Not only that, I said, but we have the 5 guys coming back who were injured from last year on the IR. I mean, and out of that way, we got Shane Lemieux coming back from, we got Colin Johnson, right? Had a very good training camp. He got injured. I said, Shane Lemieux, I don't know if that guy can ever stay freaking healthy. We got remember Ellerson Smith? Remember that guy, right? Every time he walks on the field, boom, he does something wrong with, But, and then we have those other 5 guys from our draft guys. We got a lot of guys that were injured last year that were on the IR that are coming back. And, of course, we didn't end the season with Sterling Shepard. We didn't end the season with Wan'Dale Robinson. We didn't end the season with Ellerson Smith, Shane Lemieux. I mean, McKeithen, Zudu, Ellerson Smith. I mean, Darian Beavers, DJ Davidson. I mean, it's like pretty much like about 10 guys that we didn't have on the active roster because they ended the season on IR. And there's probably a couple of guys I'm missing too. So it's like 10 guys, and then we're going to be adding another 10 guys in the draft class. I don't really see us needing all those 10 picks. It would be nice to see if Shane could maybe a couple of them together, maybe jump up and instead of snatching somebody, that's what I would like, jump up and snag, right? Somebody who, a starter, or somebody, if you just made your 3rd round pick, right? It's getting toward the back end of the 3rd round or something. If there's somebody still there you really want to get a couple of these draft picks together, jump back into the 3rd round, grab somebody who might be a starter for you, right? I mean, because you're going to start getting to the point where, you got, let's just start count, right? We got, got a couple tight ends, right? We got a running back, got a quarterback, right? You can just say Hodgins, right? I mean, you got the tackles, 2 tackles, right? What do we need on offense, right? We need a center. We're going to need, I think they're kind of hoping that Izudu can come back and he'll be the starter at one of the guards. I really think that, but we need a center. We need a guard. We can use another wide receiver. Okay. Defense, right? We need another cornerback without question. You can always use depth on the edge but I mean, maybe a later on pick you can use, right? I don't know if he wants to insert any more value into the inside line. We just brought a Caracay in. We got Darian Beavers. We got Micah McFadden. We got a couple of guys, but I mean, is a Caracay going to be the main guy, right? So we need a cornerback. Do we need another safety? Maybe, but I mean, you can start seeing where we're starting to chunk this down where we only need we need depth. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. But as far as starters, right? I mean, I said, maybe a guard, a center. We need a wide receiver 1. I said, we can certainly use, we got people backing up Saquon. We do need a quarterback, to get behind Daniel Jones because Tyrod Taylor's last season with us, unless we re-sign him. But I mean, I said on defense, we need cornerbacks. Okay. I'm not sure what they're thinking about with safety position. I don't know if they want to, they just went out and spent $40 million on a Caracay, right? I don't know if they're going to want to, in the first couple, like grab Simpson from Clemson and, just got a Caracay. You want to have Simpson maybe, but do you need that? I don't know. I'm not so sure. We got 2 edge rushers. We got 2 defensive linemen. I'm not sure how much, what they're going to plan on doing with Leonard Williams. Are they going to try to re-sign him and extend his contract, have him here for another couple of years? Maybe. But, you can see where we have holes. Absolutely. But, we're starting to chunk it down a little bit. We only need, 4 or 5 starters, right? Grip, is a process. It's not like, I hope this happens. I hope we won a playoff game last year and I hope we win the next 300 Super Bowls. But if you come back to reality, that's not the way it's going to be. We might even lose more games this year than we did last year. Let's not forget, easy schedule last year. This year, a lot harder schedule. Last year, one score games, we were bomb. We were it. Okay. It's kind of tough to keep going year in and year out, winning like almost every 1 score game. That's really tough to do. Okay. This year, a bounce here, a bounce there, and the Giants said they play 8 1 score games, well, they could be 4-4 then. Right. Doesn't mean they're going to, like that last year, they were phenomenal. This year they could be, so this year, actually their roster could get better, but they can still have the same record. They could be whatever, 9-8, 8-9, 8-8-1. Right? They can maybe even get a little bit worse. So it's a process. But I'm saying, but if we have like 4 or 5 spots now, right? Starters, we can get it. If the third gets back into the 3rd round or so, right? A couple of 4th round pick and a 5th round pick, jump back into the 3rd round. Grab yourself another starter, possibly, or big time contributor. Right? If you can get 2 or 3 years, the starters. I mean, this year maybe we can grab ourselves a center, right? Grab ourselves a cornerback, right? 1st round, grab a cornerback, right? If we let Adoree Jackson go next year, we might need another cornerback, right? But at least when you pick one up this season, right? We're going to get a wide receiver now. We're going to is one of these guys going to fall to us? I don't know. Are they going to fall to number 25? One of these real big time? I don't know. I mean, as I said, unless the Giants fall in love with like a Zay Flower or one of those guys. But I mean, how many guys like these like slot guys that they need? They need guys on the outside, right? Plus, I said we don't really have a lot of firepower to jump up big time to really snag somebody really, really well. So, I mean, I think if the Giants were to grab a couple guys, like maybe 3 starters this season, if they could, first, second, third round, and then maybe get a little depth in the back end, that would be fine. So we go into next season, grab a few more starters. I mean, we'll be pretty close to having you'll never have a complete roster, but having a really, really good roster. Give like at least maybe another season or so, especially worth of drafting from Shane. But I mean, you can make for everything. For them to jump up a little bit, as I said, I wouldn't bother me one bit if especially they jumped up a couple of draft picks up and got somebody, deliberately went and grabbed somebody. Oh, that's our center. I'd be fine with that. If they do jump up, especially in the first round, they can't jump up too far, but because they're not that close. I mean, if they were that close, they only need like 1 or 2 guys, and they could be Super Bowl contenders, then I would say do it. But I can't see them jumping up that far. As I said, I could see if they're going to jump back and collect some more picks, okay. But as I say, the problem with that is that how many guys, we're starting to run out of roster spot. I mean, you got 90 roster spots. We already have 73 guys under contract. We have another 10 guys, okay, from draft picks. And we keep bringing guys in all the time. So it's like, there's only so many guys who are going to be able to make this roster, right? But as I said, this is with this year and give 1 more year, and we should be pretty close to at least having some, hopefully a more of a complete roster. Right. But as I said, you can make cases for everything. I said, if they're going to jump up, I would like to see them jump up maybe back into a 3rd round or something like that. Right. Maybe not so much in the first round, because if you jump up in the first round, it's going to cost you maybe a 1st round pick and a 2nd, or a 1st and a 3rd or something like that. So if they are going to jump up, do it maybe into the 3rd round where it costs you maybe a 4th round and a 5th round pick or something like that. Okay. Standing put. Okay, but I said, I mean, you're going to wind up with 10 draft picks, and are all of them going to make the roster? The problem is trading back and getting more picks is all fine and fancy, but then, as I said, I mean, you go in there with 10 picks, say you trade back, and you're going to want to having 12 picks, they're not all going to make the roster, right? So I would certainly like to see Shane, jump up and deliberately go after, say we're in the 3rd round and it gets back to the back end of the 3rd round or so, and maybe there's a center there, or maybe a good tight end is there, or a decent wide receiver, or double up on the cornerbacks, jump back into the 3rd round, grab a cornerback. There's a lot of cornerbacks out there. And as I said, because with Adoree Jackson, what are we doing with him? Are we going to, are we re-signing him? We're going to extend his contract? I haven't heard anything like that. Right? Or is this going to be his last season with the Giants? It's going to be his last season with the Giants. Who our cornerback's going to be going forward? Right? I mean, if Wink Martindale's around, if he's our defensive coordinator, especially this year or next year, and right, you need cornerbacks, right? So I keep saying all the time, don't be surprised if the Giants don't go cornerback in the 1st round of this draft. I mean, there's a lot of cornerbacks. A lot of cornerbacks in this. And I said, don't be surprised if they, I wouldn't be surprised if they double dipped either. Right. I mean, they're bringing in a lot of depth, but, it's depth. I'm not sure exactly how good it's going to wind up being, but I said, I can make a case for anything, but the thing is they have too many picks right now, and I don't know if all of them are going to want to make a roster. Well, guys, it's been 38, almost 39 minutes. Woo! Anybody spent any time at all, right? Watching me, listening to me. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. If anybody spends any time at all watching the replay of this. Once again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, thank you, thank you. It means the world to me. I greatly appreciate it. And as always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo!